So if you look, there's an underspend in the corporate services and capital and technical budgets of 5 million. So that is helping. I think, Chair, it's appropriate for me at this stage to thank Chief Executive and his management team, and in particular Sarah and her team, for the kind of rigor that's been applied to our finances in the council. And we need to continue to provide that in order to deliver a much reduced overspend. I'm also very pleased to hear that the work that's going on in children's services to control expenditure, but also actually looking at different ways of providing our services, including having number of in-house placements. And those will lead to better services for our young people, but also a substantial financial saving. In relation to capital programme, broadly it's on track. The expenditure at the end of month 4 is 17 million. It fluctuates from time to time. The budget is around 100 million. There's quite a lot of capital activities going on. My expectation is that we will spend up to that allocated expenditure. I'll leave it at that, Chair, but happy to take any questions from yourself or colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jabbar, for that comprehensive introduction. But before I bring other members in to speak, I just want to make a couple of points. Firstly, I'm really, really pleased that this month's reporting showcases the work that you've spearheaded as well. So I appreciate you acknowledging officers, but also the way that you've done and directed this work has been really, really important. So thank you on behalf of me and the rest of your cabinet colleagues. But also I want to join you in acknowledging and thanking Harry, as our chief exec, Sarah, but also the broader management team as well. I think it's been really, really hard work, and to reduce the overspend is never easy, because we have to appreciate that this isn't monies that we've just been reckless about or that's been easy. It means that there's real difficult decisions behind even reducing it to this point. So I'm really grateful for that. But, you know, this council, like many councils across the country, is facing really extraordinary challenges. You know, the increase in like children and adult social care, but housing and homelessness too. You know, these are really emotive issues, and more than often now, unfortunately, we're seeing it more and more and more. And so you can't underestimate that actually that 14 years of investment in local government, but also the lack of regard of like local government and the services that we have to provide has had a really huge impact. And it means that when you do end up with pressures like this, you don't know how to respond to them, you don't know how to deal with them, not with a lack of wanting or trying, but because there's not money in the system to help us and assist us and making sure that we protect our most vulnerable. So it has been a really, really difficult time. But unfortunately, we are still in a position where we've got even more difficult decisions to make as we continue to like try to reduce the council's expenditure. But, you know, like always, a Labour administration will also always make sure that we do it in the most fair, in the most open and transparent way that actually, you know, puts residents first. But there are real significant challenges ahead. And local government often, in most cases, serves as the last hope for many people. And I'm really, really pleased that now, I think finally and long last, we've got a government that do completely understand this. But again, thank you, Abdul, and thank you to Sarah, Harry, and the rest of the team. Does any other member wish to speak? Shahid?
Thanks, Chair. Just to echo your comments and also to build on Councillor Jabbar's comments about children's services and the estimated overspend, which is a significant contributor to the overall picture with regard to finances. And as Councillor Jabbar mentioned, we are increasing the number of internal placements, and that's really important in terms of stability for our young people. We've also introduced the family hubs, as people are aware, which is helping with the prevention, and we've heard real-life human stories about how that work is really helping people. And from the admission of parents themselves, had they not had that interaction with those family hubs, then quite possibly that would have been adding to the demand that we are already dealing with. There's also ongoing work with regard to domestic violence linked to drug and alcohol misuse, which again contributes to family breakdown. It's just another example of the preventative work that we're doing to help support the budgetary pressures, but also supporting the families more importantly. And as people are aware, we have the Mockingbird model, which supports foster families with what can be quite challenging young people. So that again helps them stabilise those placements, and that's the best thing for those young people. That will also be being expanded, and following the investment from the council a couple of years ago when caseloads were really high, we are now really progressing in reducing the agency to permanent staff. So there's lots of work ongoing to ensure that this council doesn't just sit and accept that demand is high and that we are facing these pressures and there's nothing we can do about it. We are actively working and supporting families in reducing those pressures. So I just wanted to highlight some of that as well. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Mushtaq. I think really important points made. Does any other member wish to speak? No? Okay. Does Cabinet agree with the recommendations as set out in the report? Thank you. Item 7, back to you, Councillor Jabbar, for wireless infrastructure replacement.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So this is a relatively straightforward report. At the moment, we have 3 different wireless infrastructure providers. And what we want to do is to actually modernize that whole infrastructure, and we're suggesting that we go with one. There's a closed report which deals with the expenditure and also the recommended provider. It's a modernization program, Chair, that delivers a better outcome for us and more cost effective. I'm again more than happy to take any question colleagues may have on this.
Thank you, Councillor Jabbar. Does any member wish to speak? No? Okay, so we're going to, Cabinet will consider the recommendations of that report at item 12. Item 8, purchase of liquid fuels. Councillor Goodwin.
Yes, thank you, Chair. This report refers to the purchase of liquid fuels such as petrol, diesel and red diesel for the council fleet. GM authorities have got a combined buying power to get the best value, and procurement is undertaken by the Yorkshire Purchasing Organisation. Full information regarding this is in the Part B of this report.
Thank you, Councillor Goodwin. Does any member wish to speak? Okay, again, we're going to be discussing the recommendations of that report at item 13. So the next item is item 9, which is mine, and it's the High Street Accelerator Green Fund. So I'm really pleased to present this report. And it is going to seek approval to accept Oldham's pilot grant allocation of £500,000 from the Green Spaces Fund, which is administered by Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government. And this funding is really important because it's a crucial step in our High Street Accelerator programme and the broader improvement plans that we've got to revitalise the whole of the town centre economy in and around Union Street and Yorkshire Street. Our town centre is no different to many others across the country, and we've faced like significant challenges, like I said before, including really high vacancy rates and seeing the economic decline that we're seeing everywhere. But this grant is going to give us a real opportunity to push forward our plans and implement innovative projects that enhance not just the vibrancy of our high streets, but also the visual appeal, and we'll do that through greening initiatives. So the programme itself was launched to address the pressure and the issues that all town centres face. And in 2019, Oldham was actually identified as one of the top 20 town centres in the country that was considered at that point most at risk from key consumer trends. And we've got a significant leakage of like jobs, visitors and spending to central Manchester and surrounding towns, which led to like vacant retail and eatery units. And this economic decline has also contributed to increased antisocial behaviour and crime in high streets. But this fund gives us a real opportunity to introduce a range of like physical enhancements and encourage high street businesses in Yorkshire Street and Union Street to actually take ownership themselves of the public realm, because that's everybody's responsibility and it benefits them too. So it's going to include things like barrier planters and hanging planters, But then the onus of maintaining them will fall on the businesses. So it aims to improve the look and feel of our streets really, really quickly. And I think that's something that we're all going to really welcome. I think it will improve the morale of not just the businesses, but our residents as well, as they either travel, walk or drive, whichever way it may be. But I think it does a lot in terms of supporting people's mental well-being as well. So I do want to extend my thanks to the High Street Accelerator Partnership, because their dedication has meant that we've secured this grant, and I think that's an important acknowledgement. And their efforts have laid a really, really strong foundation for the success of this programme. The partnership comprising local businesses, of property owners, community organisations and council reps, it's really shown together the power of collaboration and driving high street improvements, and they've done lots already outside of this programme too, but it will also help us tackle the immediate challenges and test new ways of working, so we can make sure that we're committed to long-term revival, but also the regeneration of our high streets. So it's a real good opportunity to create that more vibrant, attractive and sustainable town centre. So I look forward to supporting in your support, actually, colleagues, in approving this grant acceptance, which is going to allow us to move forward at a pace that's really important, and that will complement everything else that we're trying to do in terms of regenerating Oldham Town Centre. Okay. So does any member wish to speak? No. Does Cabinet agree with the recommendations of the report? Okay, brilliant. So thank you. So item 10 again is mine. So it's Broadway Green and Hollingwood Junction. So again, pleased to present an update on the progress of our joint venture regen projects at Broadway Green and Hollingwood Junction. And these projects are really pivotal to our strategy in driving growth, creating jobs, and also providing new homes within our borough. At Broadway Green, we're nearing the completion of the final employment phase and are set to submit the last residential phase for planning approval. And that development is going to see 680 new homes, including 300 of them that are going to be affordable. And it's going to create 2,720 full-time equivalent job opportunities. We're all going to see over 790,000 square feet of new industrial and employment space, with 5 new retail outlets and the creation of a new 20-acre park. This venture between the council and Grasscroft Seddons has already seen significant process, and we can see that with the works that have already started there. 2 commercial phases have been completed, and they're delivering up to 760 full-time equivalent job opportunities, and again 480,000 square feet of employment space. The 3rd commercial phase is underway, and that's going to focus more on small industrial units. That's going to really specifically sort of aim at small and medium enterprises, and we will again create additional job opportunities through that. So alongside these commercial developments, the final housing phases are set to deliver another 132 homes on top of the 680 already, adding to the 397 that we've already built as well. So it's going to include a real mix of tenures as well, and we're going to make sure that at least a decent amount of them are affordable rent or shared ownership. But moreover, this joint venture itself has invested about around £23 million in infrastructure works on site, including the construction of a new spine road, Lydia Beckaway, and off-site highways and junction improvements. The creation of the 20-acre park, linking that scheme together and joining with surrounding communities, is also underway, and we're hoping that 2nd phase will be completed by September 25. So Hollingwood Junction, similarly, is also making significant strides. So we've completed essential site preparation work. We've done the demolition, remediation and infrastructure improvements. And that will include a new Lidl supermarket, which is 192,000 square feet of employment space, with 150 new low carbon homes, with at least 40% of them that are going to be affordable. Again, this project will generate approximately £600,000 per annum in additional business rates for the council, and create 720 full-time equivalent jobs. So the report's there, and I just want to extend my gratitude to our partners, Grasscroft Seddons and Langtree, for their dedication and all the collaboration on these projects. Their investment and their continued commitment has been instrumental in driving forward these developments. And I also want to thank council officers for all the work that they put in, and their teams as well, for their hard work and dedication towards this. And so I'm looking forward, Cabinet colleagues, to your support in acknowledging not just only the progress, but also approving the recommendations set out in the report. I think it's really important to understand that together we can continue to drive growth, create opportunities, and build a better future for Oldham. And this is a demonstration of that as well. So we've got a lot to be proud of, a lot that's happening. And it shows our commitment to our employment, and also like having the ambition for our town, which is really important. Thank you, colleagues. Does any member wish to speak on that? No? Right, so the recommendations of that are going to be discussed at item 14. So item 11 is exclusion of press and public. Second, thank you. Can we